new trend with this. No lens on one side, no hinge. That's so ghetto. Anyway, I posed the question on Facebook. Actually, it was my avatar, and I use it as a cover for my page. And it's called the question is, would you relocate for love? Of course, I had myself looking over the glasses, and no, that's not when I broke my glasses. But I asked the question because I relocated. I thought it was love. It wasn't love. It was lust. It wasn't anything to write home about. It was just an idea because I was horny and I didn't want to be alone and sleep in the bed alone anymore. That's not love. I mean, to some people it could be love, but for me that wasn't love because I ended up still being single and moved away and moved back home. That wasn't love. That was, I have to admit it. I really have to think about it. That was lust. Nothing about it said we loved each other. We lusted after each other. It was an idea or a concept of what we thought could be real, or actually what I thought could be real. But I asked one young lady, and I'll post it here on the video, and I asked her, I said, what would it take for you to move to his, what would it take for you to move? Would it be his actions or his words? And she said, well, long distance love is only words anyway, so to move would be based off of promises, which is words essentially is what she's saying. How far can words take you? You know what? Matter of fact, I have to get back to what love is. What is love? What does love mean to you? That would be the first question. Write it down if you need to. Look it up in the dictionary. If you're a Christian, look it up in the Bible. If whatever you follow, describe first what you believe, what love is. Write it down. Then go to the book that you follow, write it down, write the answers, see if that aligns with what it is. Then recognize the people who are around you who have been married for a long time. Ask them questions. Ask them, what does love mean to them? Because love isn't as hunky-dory and fluffy as many of us would like to believe. We have this laundry list of what we think a guy should give to us, how he should give it to us. But that's not the case, because when you see marriages that have been to, over 7-10 years, we see that we have to ask the honest questions. And ladies who are married, please give the honest answers. But we see that it's work. Marriage is work. Love is work. All of it is more than just an idea or a fantasy or a lustful desire. Lustful desires only last but for a moment. Ideas last as long as you allow to build them into something extra. Lustful desires, again, lustful desires with the idea is crazy, because it could completely tear you down to where you're lost and you fail to forget to love the very first thing that should love you, which is yourself. It was a show we did last week with a young man who wrote a blog, and if you haven't heard it, I'll put the link down below in the description box. But it was a young lady who said that she had searched and searched and searched throughout relationships to find love, until she finally realized the love that she was seeking was her father's love. And it might sound crazy, but that's what we do, women who have been in a single family home without the father, we tend to seek for love through sex to reach a man, because we're told that that's the most precious thing we could ever give away. We want to be the most precious thing our fathers ever loved. But when you continue to give that away, it becomes you become angry and upset, deceitful, and you start to despise men. You want to hurt them, along with hurting yourself. It's crazy cycle. But those who have gone through it, you already know what I'm talking about. Especially a lot of you women, you know what I'm talking about. But what is love to you? If it's trying to replace daddy, then that's the wrong thing. If it's trying to find daddy, that's the wrong thing too. It's about loving who you are. Who are you? I always ask that question to people, who are you? Because I had to ask myself, who am I? Once I realized who I was and the power and the gift that I do have as a woman in being able to give more to the world, in showing them the love that I have for me is as much love as they could have for themselves by their actions in womanhood. And I gave the right way, not through sex, but I gave to people like I'm doing now. I'm giving you my time. It's because it's out of love, because I needed somebody there to give me these words when I wasn't able to see them myself or hear them myself. And the other thing I asked the young lady too was, how long would the promises have to be before a move is an idea? And should the guy initiate the topic? And she said, that's a tough question. You got to ask the tough questions. Would you relocate for love? And if you're relocating, how long would the promises have to be before a move is an idea? And should the guy initiate the topic? See, we jump into stuff without even thinking about the deep questions and thoughts and topics that we need to ask ourselves, because we're living in a fantasy world in our mind, built upon lies and continued lies, because we're searching for something that isn't the truth. The truth is who you are. But we're searching for fairy tale stories. That's not truth. That's not reality. Who you are is truth. Let's see, your heart beating? That's truth. Can you see? That's truth. Can you hear? That's truth. Can you feel? And if something pinches you, that did hurt. If something pinches you, did it hurt? That's truth. If you yell, that's truth. If you bite, taste, anything, that's your truth. That's who you are. But deeper inside of who this being is a truth that you need to find. And once you begin to break down those barriers, those onions that we always talk about on the show, peeling back the layers upon layers of lies that we've told ourselves and what we've heard, and get to the root, that root of loving who we are and learning and knowing and growing who we are, begins to help build your love and your strength for yourself. And with any flame, the more fuel that's added to it, it gets brighter. The more it gets brighter, the more it attracts either light or it subtracts the negative and shines brighter for others to see. Look, here's a lighter. It's bright. Here's another lighter. Look at what happens. You begin putting the two lighters together. Look at how it grows. And it becomes one flame. See that? And it builds. This truth knows that it is light. This truth knows that it's light. It begins attracting regardless of winds and turbulence and stuff of that would cause dysfunctions. But look at it builds and it creates a new source. It might be blocked by life, but it still builds. Look at that. You want to be that light. You want to be that individual that attracts more. But the only way you could get to more is getting to the fuel that's inside of you, which is love. That's the initial thing that brings us all together, is love. And the more we try to run away from love, the more we become empty. No light, no flame, just darkness. Nothing. But spark it. That's you. Once you realize this is you, you can bring new things into your life. It's called law of attraction, people. It's not, if you haven't remembered science, like attracts lights. Like attracts lights. How funny, cute. Like attracts like. That's your soulmate. That's what you desire. But the only way you could grasp it is if you're one complete person. So would you relocate for love? My question is, my answer would be, for myself? No. Not at the moment. There would have to be a lot of work involved on both sides. I wouldn't just up and move. I had an opportunity to 4 years ago to Philadelphia, or Pennsylvania, not Philadelphia, excuse me, but Pennsylvania, Lancaster, of all places, in the middle of nowhere. But I didn't move because I wasn't ready. And I was trying to, if you saw the other video on attention, I was trying to force a guy to be attentive, and he wasn't. No matter what I would do or call or contact him, he said I was stressing him, and eventually he got to the point to where he got sick and tired of me, blah blah blah. But then he would call every now and again. Now he's married. That's good for him. But it would have to be for the right reasons. It wouldn't have to be over a fantasy. It wouldn't have to be over lust. I could travel for lust if I really want to. Just get on a plane and go. And then come back home, because I know it would just be lust and that's it. Hey. But again, I have abstained for 3 years now, almost going on 4. So don't freak out. But relocating for love, you have to ask yourself serious questions before you even think about it. Ask yourself things that must be done in order to reach the root of you. And love yourself. Once you love yourself, then you're able to recognize if somebody truly is of like mind, like body, like spirit, whatever you want to call it. Once you recognize you, they recognize you. On that note, you guys, smooches. Bye-bye.